After you sew buttonholes, let's sew buttons on. You have in the same buttonhole area a stitch number 36 for sewing on buttons. Notice that it has you remove the foot that you have on your machine. And I like to actually lower the feed dogs down. So come right down here and slide that all the way to this side. So how do we go about doing this? You also notice there is a tool pictured with the button, and that's the multi-purpose tool. This can help create that little bit of shank of thread that you'd want for, say, a garment where you have a little bit room for that button to button onto a piece of fabric. If you're doing decorative buttons where they're just on the project, you don't need this for the extra bit. So I'm going to show you first without it and then once with it. If you have a button with 4 holes, you'll just go ahead and do 2 first, and then you can go back or forward and then do the other 2. How big is this stitch? When we go to I for information, you'll notice the stitch width is 4, but is it really that different? All your buttons are, like 99% of them, all have the same width. So once you have one, that's why they are able to get that set. Let me show you how this works though, because there's a little trick right here. Sink the needle down into the button. Notice the needle's over here on the left side. So sink the needle into the left eye of the button and then touch the down arrow for your presser foot. The ankle of your machine comes down and sits on the button. Now we're going to just hand turn this one time and just make sure that we go into the next hole to double check. And then also on screen you notice a little part here that says 8. You can change this. How many swings of the needle do you want? Do you want more stitches or less stitches? 8 stitches is default. So let's just go ahead and do 8. It will lock, and you can use the selective thread cutter. It will pick a hole and go into it and then cut. So that's how perfect buttonholes or buttons are sewn on to the fabric. So just use the stitch. Oh, and I was going to show you how to do it with the multi-purpose tool. There we go. So if we're going here, then just go ahead and set it on top. Needle still on the left side when it starts, always there. Sink the needle into the left hole, lower the presser foot down, and then check the swing. I'm going to just slide that over. Since I moved it a little bit, I'm going to just kind of get it to double check it 2 times. There we go. And now, cut. Now it has just enough thread to button onto another item. So that is what the multi-purpose foot will do. That's how it looks when you stitch it. Looks like a little smiley face.